Have you ever heard that term, wherever you go, there you are? Hey, welcome to the channel. Walking the trail and dancing the leash dance. Have you ever heard that term, wherever you go, there you are? I think it's something that people, especially in today with the short attention span and the need for change and, the do-overs and the wanting to recreate ourselves and all the things, because I've been through it all. I remember when I first got divorced. It was a newfound freedom. I didn't know who I was. I had been married since I was 18. I had moved, I had lived with my parents, and then all of a sudden I'm married and I'm living with my husband. And, I never really got to know who I was as an adult. And then when I was married, I was a mom, I was the wife, I was the entrepreneur, all the things. But anyway, when I got divorced, I felt like, I'm going to recreate myself. I'm going to be, this person that I wanted to be and all the things. And that is great. That is not the problem. So I moved in a 5-year period 6 times, all within the same region. I live in the Western Washington, and I moved from Gig Harbor to Kirkland to Puyallup to downtown Seattle. Oh, look at that squirrel. We found a squirrel. Hold me back, Mom, hold me back. I'm gonna get it. Where'd he go? Get that squirrel. You get that squirrel. And then eventually back to Gig Harbor. And it was just that need for a new place, a new life, a new this, a new that. If I just lived here, it would be this way. Or if I just did this, it would be that way. And I finally came to the realization, even after that last move back to Gig Harbor, it took me a while. Wherever you go, there you are. And just because I had changed location didn't mean I changed. And it happened to me again after the pandemic. You guys know my story. I had, gone through cancer. My daughter went through cancer. I lost my business through the pandemic, all the things. Had a midlife crisis, sold my house, jumped in the RV, and hit the road. And I was influenced a lot by watching other women my age do the same thing, and they just seem so happy because, everything on Instagram and YouTube is perfect. And when I got out on the road, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to travel, and I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get myself back in shape, and I'm going to write that novel, and I'm going to do all these things. I just need to get out on the road. I just need to get rid of the burden of this house and all the responsibilities financially and get out on the road. Well, I got out on the road, and the first month was amazing. And then I realized, wherever you go, there you are. Nothing mentally with me really changed. I stayed in my old habits of eating fast food. I stayed in my old habits of, watching way too much TV and not getting outside. Hang on, I'm going to have to get off just for a second. I'll catch up. And I found that, wherever you go, there you are. And it took me a long time after getting back to my home base, because I had to turn around and come back, to figure things out, to figure that my location isn't going to change who I am. It's not going to change my lifestyle. Now, there's going to be cases where you move because you want to be closer with family, or maybe for a job. And in that case, yeah, it is going to change your life for the better in some ways. Or maybe, you have arthritis and you need to be in a drier climate. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these antsy little, I need to change. And if I could just do this or go there, my life would be better. But not changing anything in yourself. I finally had to have a hard sit down with myself and say, if you're not taking a daily walk where you live now, because although I can't just step out of my door and walk necessarily, I usually have to drive to a trail or, I could walk neighborhoods and stuff, but if I'm not doing it now, what makes me think just because I'm in a different location, I'm going to do it there? Or if I'm not eating right now, and I have a kitchen, I have a grocery store, I have everything I need, why would I do it somewhere else? If I'm not working on my art or my writing now, why would a new location make that difference? Because it's not like I have kids running around or a family I'm taking care of and I'm going to go someplace peaceful to do this. I have as much peace as I want where I'm at. If I'm not going to make friends now and make dinner plans or, day trip plans or something with friends where I'm at now in a place that I am very familiar with and know some people, what makes me think I'm going to do that somewhere else? And that was a hard thing for me to swallow, because I kept thinking that I just needed to be in a different place, that the place was the problem. And in all reality, I was the problem. And so now, when I start feeling that way, I kick myself in the ass and I do whatever it is I think I'm going to do somewhere else. And if I won't do it here, I'm not going to do it somewhere else. And I just have to remind myself of that, because it's easy to tell yourself that it's your location or it's whatever. Now, this can apply to relationships and things too. Sometimes you have to be very careful about blaming your relationship on your misery, because maybe the other person would like to make things change too, but you haven't taken the time to even figure that out. I don't want to get into that too much because I don't want to talk about that. But anyway, yeah. So next time you're feeling a little antsy, like you're thinking a change of location will completely revamp your life, unless it's legit, like I said, a job or moving closer to family, or you need a different type of weather to be more comfortable. I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your mental climate. Now, all that being said, I found this guy on YouTube. I'm a Disney fan. You all know that. I found this guy on YouTube, and he's much younger. He's like in his 30s, I think. And he was working from home, and he was a gamer and all those things, and he was spending a lot of his time just on the computer sitting at home. And I don't remember where he lived, but he was getting depressed. But he would save up and he would go to like a theme park, like Disney or something, or Universal or whatever, it didn't matter. And he would always be so happy, and then he would get so sad when he got back home. Now, this guy's single, he was making good money, he could work from anywhere. And so yeah, what did he do? He moved to Orlando. And he goes to the theme park every day. He's got a local pass. He's got to SeaWorld and to Disney World and to Universal Studios, and he goes to the theme park every day. After work or on his days off, he's always there because he's just like a few minutes away. And that really did improve his life. Now for me, I would love to do that, but I don't have a job I can do from anywhere. I would literally have to start it from scratch, but also being near my family and grandkids and things far outweighs being in a park, being in a theme park, even though that is my happy place. So you have to weigh that out too. And that's like I was talking about retirement in a video or two ago. And, people move away and go to warmer climates, Florida or Arizona or whatever, which sounds all fine and dandy, but I would have to leave my family. And you have to decide, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is moving away to a paradise for retirement worth not seeing your kids and grandkids grow up? Or, because we only have so many days on this planet. I remember someone was talking, I don't know if it was a podcast or I read it or something, so much information out there nowadays. they were saying, I think it was the case that the parents had moved away for retirement and they were 65. Let's say they were 65 years old. And let's say they were going to live to 85. Okay. So that's 20 years. Well, the kid was saying, or maybe it was the grandparents saying, I don't remember. Anyway, that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is they no longer live near family. And this family member was saying, okay, we have maybe another 20 years, 10 good years. And if we vacation once a year to go see them, it was on the other side of the country, that means I'm going to see them probably 20 more times in my entire life. Think about that. Not even a month's worth. And that really, this tree is amazing. I gotta show you this tree. Hang on. Gotta flip my camera. Look at the tree. This is a new trail for me. That is fun. It looks like a water slide. Imagine, if you could only see them 20 more times. Or maybe, some people only lived about 75, like maybe a father, or, because men usually die a little younger, maybe 10 more times. Wow. That hit hard. And that's why I will never move away from my kids. Now, my grandkids are getting older. They're less interested in hanging out with me. I get that. But still, to think I could only see them maybe 10 more times, that's terrifying. So anyway, that's something to think about too when you're thinking about changing location. Yeah, so next time you think there's something you would do if you were somewhere else, ask yourself why you're not doing it now. Write that book, take that walk, join that gym, go swim those laps, go on that date, whatever it is that you think you're going to do somewhere else. See if you'll do it here first. And if you won't do it here, you're not going to do it there either. You just won't. We are creatures of habit, especially the older we get. Louie and I are going to continue to walk. Have a great day.